you know the steps you took to set up the machine initially. Your main screen is going to prompt up this 3 categories. You're only going to use lithotripsy or soft tissue.
Okay.
When you hit this, it's going to go into 2 settings for the pedals, and they match accordingly, yellow and blue.
Okay.
One thing to keep in mind is I usually do not place the foot pedal until you hear that the doctor successfully located the stone. It's just something I've always done.
Okay.
If you're not comfortable with that, you want to leave the foot pedal next to the doctor. We'll pretend Matt's the doctor. You leave it set for him to move it.
Okay.
I've usually waited because if it goes standby,
And
he's already contaminated the foot pedal. It's like when he's searching for stuff and he decides he doesn't use the laser, stuff is already leaked all over your foot pedal. It's just a fast way
Right.
to evac out of it. You can also, like I said, I found trash bags at the facilities
to wrap the
to
pedal.
wrap the pedal in. Some doctors don't like it because when you put the trash bag on it, the foot pedal slides. That's all preferences you got to keep in mind when you talk to the doctor or you learn how the doctor likes his stuff done. I don't see an issue leaving it blank like that because they usually have a non-skid pad, most of the modern ORs.
Okay.
And you're just going to make sure you glove up and sanitize that foot pedal completely
When you're done
Yeah.
wiping. Okay.
So let's say we set it up, the surgeon's there. You will look at the settings wise, and you'll get a surgeon that knows what he wants to request right away. You're just going to give him the settings he wants. So let's say typically, I've always set the yellow pedal for a dusting.
Okay.
So we always use dusting vapor tunnel and fragmentation
On the blue,
on the
okay.
blue pedal. Fragmentation, self-explanatory. All it's going to do is bang the stone hard, break it up. Dusting vapor tunnel is more of a shorter burst.
Without moving the
Yeah,
stone.
without moving the stone. It's good for smaller stones or a larger stone that he wants to use that whole divide and conquer type
Right.
method where he's going to break the
Shit.
outside and then work on the inside.
Okay.
When you select those settings, you hit OK, it's going to default right away to those settings.
Okay.
I've always been successful with making sure that this retropulsion, which is automatically going to be low, I've set this to 50 and 0.5 for dusting.
Okay.
It's like a doctor's favorite. What I've seen also, if you want to, you can take that up to 50 and 0.5, and that's another one. It's got a lot more power to it, shorter bursts, but you're not going to be in danger of breaking any wall inside there in the ureter
Okay.
or anything like that. It's just a real rapid, light punch.
Punch on there.
If you're noticing the dusting isn't doing much and the doctor says I need a little bit more power, this is a lot of power to give him at
Already.
25 watts. But I would go no higher than, sorry, I clicked the wrong one.
No.
I would go no higher than 1 joule and 50 hertz. You
Okay.
can even drop the hertz down to where we initially were at 15, and that's another setting. I would start at that setting first, 15
Start
and
low.
1 joule, before you start going up in actual power.
Okay.
That's dusting. It's usually the way that they like to start the procedure. Once they've said to themselves, all right, the dusting is not effective on some cases, you go to fragmentation. Fragmentation is going to leave you at that typical 8 and 8 that I've always liked, but this
Right.
is 10 and 8. So you leave it there. It's a slower punch. I would go leaving it still at 8 and just increasing the joules accordingly. Like you can go to 2 joules at 8 hertz on
Okay.
fragmentation, and that's for like a big bladder stone, something that's going to be a lot shorter of a burst. I mean a lot shorter but harder of a hit. This is a faster hit.
Just at this one.
With power,
Rapid.
yeah. These settings are typical. John, you will not go wrong with staying around that ball field.
Okay.
Anyone that goes beyond that is misleading you. Just be careful if you get into situations with a surgeon and he's just like, I need more power. Listen to what he's saying, and they don't even know what you're doing control-wise unless he says, let me see your settings. And if he recommends, okay, bring that up to 3 joules. That's on him. And note it in your comments.
Okay.
Because I've never had a surgeon go that high, and I'm just giving you what could happen in the OR. A lot of them are real easygoing. I have surgeons here that they're real conservative on their settings.
Okay.
You can pause it a second.